Hola guys, ¿qué pasó? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo, and I thought we could do another Bitcoin update right now. Uh, okay, so without any further delay, what we're looking at, obviously, is a sideways consolidation. Some people call this a crab movement. It's basically lateral consolidation. It's an impasse in the markets. It's basically a time of indecision. It's like a standoff between the bulls and the bears, waiting to see who's going to make the first move. I've drawn out some of the potential areas where the price can head to in the next few days. Really, we could break it any time and do any one of these things. Uh, First things first, just a real quick recap of what we've talked about in previous videos and updates of Bitcoin. I've drawn out this on the macro. I'm on the 4 hour. I've drawn out this large descending wedge structure that we're currently in. Now, wedges are reversal patterns. That is, falling wedges are reversals, meaning that at the end of this wedge, by the time the price action reaches the end of this wedge, we should theoretically go up. So eventually it's going to reach the apex at some point and it should go through the macro trend resistance retest and then pump. And then what that would cause is like a gigantic bottom, basically. And so that is on the long-term time frame as far as like what we can expect the price action to do in the months to come or weeks to come at that. But in the interim or in the meantime, these falling wedges are made up of smaller micro rising wedges usually and patterns like channels, rising channels or ascending channels. Some of them aren't always wedges. Some of them are, textbook wedges. Other times we just have the parallel channels, and then sometimes we have broadening or expanding wedges where it's just like a reverse wedge. All of these structures within the falling wedge macro are bearish, and that's why we continue to see the bleed outs or the retracements, even though we have pumps inside. We see these pumps, and like a lot of the times you see people getting all excited. Oh, Bitcoin's pumping, and people are FOMOing in to buy. Traders, bull traders are FOMOing in to buy. What they're buying are these FOMO pumps, usually at the as the price action hits the macro resistance. They go ahead and buy, not knowing that, or not looking at the larger scale, seeing that we're already at resistance and the asset is overbought at that point. And so what the market makers do is they entice as much as they can FOMO bull traders, retailer guys, to jump in so that they could do a liquidity grab before they dump back into the wedge. So we see that over and over again. It happened here. It happened here. And where we currently are, we are again approaching that area where the bottom of the channel, of the intra wedge channel, is approaching the macro resistance of the falling wedge. And so what we can anticipate is what sometimes happens, and what's been happening is as we reach this area, we suddenly see rallies break out. And I've drawn 3 areas where we could potentially pump to before we go back down. I think we are going back down. I think supply in the vertical bar volume shows that. I think the sentiment is overall bearish. It's been bearish, and I think it still is bearish. There's a lot of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, for those of you who don't know what it is, swirling around the crypto markets, not just the crypto markets, the whole, the markets, stocks, with the talks of recessions and all kinds of just bad things right now. So there's a lot of fear, and the market makers use that as a sentiment. So if there's a lot of fear, what they'll do is they know everyone's going to short. They'll go ahead and place longs and to liquidate those shorts before they go ahead and dump. And if there's very, very good news, they do the opposite. And they figure everyone's going to buy in, and what they'll do is they'll dump the stock, or they'll dump the crypto, or whatever it is, to liquidate all the longs before they pump it. So they basically, it's everything that they can do against herd mentality. If the herds, if it seems logical and the herd's doing it, you can almost guarantee that the market makers, the composite operators, smart money is doing the opposite to trap the herd and take their money. So there's no difference here. Everyone's expecting Bitcoin to go down. So what do we need to do as savvy investors, savvy traders, Wyckofians? We need to not discount the fact that a pump can be on the books before the dump. So if it does pump, we have two nearby order blocks that we can pump to. The first one is 17,000, which is basically the resistance. It's this order block here. If you see Bitcoin begin to mark up to 17,000 or somewhere between 17 and 18,000, just be aware that it could be a liquidity grab that you're buying into. If you're tempted to buy into it, we could blow right through the 17 and go to this second one here, this 18,000 order block. We can mark all the way up within this order block all the way to like 18.2 or 18.3. It still doesn't mean that we're mooning and that we've broken the structure and that we're marking up. In particular, if that happens, you want to watch the volume. You want to look at the volume in supply and demand. If it's a legitimate markup, if we've really broken structure, we're going to see gargantuan demand coming in. And it's going to be successive with like pullbacks. And on the pullbacks, we're going to see decreased supply as we go through the Elliott waves, through the 1, the 3, and the 5s. And then on the corrective waves in the Elliott structure, which is 2 and 4, we'll see decreasing supply, not building supply. So that's one of the ways you can tell if it's a fake out, if it's a liquidity grab. If you have increasing supply, which is like the red volume, supply volume, during the 2 and 4 waves of the Elliott waves, it's usually, if it's decreasing supply, it's usually a FOMO pump. And the ABC correction which follows is going to be just devastating. So it's going to basically bring everything back into the wedge. Now, the last thing we could see, which is highly unlikely, but I don't want to discount it altogether, is a pump up to the 21,000 area. If Bitcoin blows through these two order blocks and somehow makes it up to the 21,000 area, this I consider a macro void. This is this would mitigate this liquidity void at 21,000, this top here. And so if that were to happen, that would be something else. I don't see that happening, but if we were to mitigate to 21,000, that would change everything, and I would have to look at that and reevaluate what's going on. I still think we're going back down. I just don't see us reversing at this point. But anything is possible. This is likely. This is a little bit less likely, and this is highly unlikely. So just keep that in mind if you see pumps between now and like Christmas or like even New Year's. But what's going to happen most likely is we hit one of these order blocks here, either the 17,000 or the 18,000. Maybe we mitigate the 18,000 here, this like micro mitigation, this like liquidity void. and then we come back down like we've done here and here and here, these drastic sell-offs that just come down like a freight train back into the wedge. And if we hit the wedge, we can first stop off at the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement, do a little automatic rally as we come back down to the 1618, which is the green. I think this will be the lowest for now. So we see that here. The yellow circles are the 1.272 and the greens are the 618 Fibonacci retracements as the price action hugs the macro trend support area. That seems to be the pattern, and if we come down again, that we could just maybe count on that doing, the price action doing the same. So the 1.272 would bring Bitcoin down to 14.7, and then as it meanders, I kind of call this like the bedroom. The 1.272 retracement areas are kind of like the bedroom community for the 1618 golden Fibonacci retracement. That's really where the price is headed before we can see it maybe correct and form a whole new rising wedge or ascending channel to go back up and retest the micro trend resistance again. And at that point, we may be at the end of this descending wedge structure and ready to transgress altogether, break the resistance, flip, and then start a whole new structure, even like maybe a lateral consolidation, or just mark up considerably, and at this point go and aim for the $21,000 supply block mitigation. So it remains to be seen. I'm not discounting anything. Bitcoin is very tricky. It can be very, very tricky. It bucks the trend very, very often. And so, like I said, it's the most precious commodity on earth. I believe that. And, and in the weeks and months to come, especially, there's going to be just crazy battles. 2023 is coming up, and I think it's just going to be a crazy time. And especially when the reversals come, whenever that comes, you don't want to miss that rocket ship. So people are plotting it out. It's one big chess game, and you got a lot of money. You got the institutional guys, smart money, and they've got their eyes on Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 21 billion gets exhausted. Or is it 21 million? I forget the total supply, but we're almost there. We're at 19. I think it's million. We're at 19 million, so there's not a lot left. And once that gets sucked up, you better be in that rocket ship. You better have a little bit at least to be in that rocket ship. So right now is people trying to get it at its lowest, and smart money knows that, and they're trying to prevent that. And anything they can do to shake out or trick or bamboozle or whatever. So be on your guard. Be smart. And all right, let me let you guys go. And if you got anything out of this video, my technical analysis helps you out in any way, I'd like it if you'd give me a thumbs up, subscribe, so it could help these videos get more on the YouTube algorithm so more traders can find them, and help them out too. I'm just all about helping people out, and nothing makes me happier than to see traders make money. We're all in this to make money. And so anyway, if this has helped you out in any way, like, subscribe, and you'll get more updates. And I just don't do Bitcoin. I do Ethereum and also all the altcoins. I also have a profile on TradingView. I'll leave the link to that in the comment section with almost 400 charts with 80 to 85 percent win rates. So you can check those out too. You're welcome to piggyback my trades, but you do it at your own risk. And let's make money together. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Have a good one. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you are. And we'll catch up with you soon. All right, guys, take care now. Bye-bye. Adios.